Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Compensation and Benefits Management online classes. This is Dr. Mahesh M. Vanjeri, Assistant Professor from Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. Okay, so dear students, in the last class, okay, so we completed Unit 2 chapters from Unit 1, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. So chapter 1 was basically about introduction to compensation and benefits management and introduction to a pay model. Okay, so these are all chapters are linked to each other. So you should remember what we have learned in chapter 1. So there are three building blocks of the pay model include objectives, policies, and techniques. So in the pay model chapter number 1, we have discussed about compensation objectives like efficiency, fairness, and compliance, and the 4 policy choices, okay, that include internal alignment, external competitiveness, employee contribution, and management of the pay system. Okay, so again we are going to continue on the same model in each chapter. Okay, so now the chapter that we are going to discuss is about internal alignment. Okay, so it's part of the strategy. So how a company internally aligns the various employees based on their skills, job profile, okay, and age and experience. Okay, so because in the organization all employees do not receive same salary. So I had given you examples. Say in a corporation, for example, employees in the manufacturing plant, human resource employees, employees in the financial management department, employees in the marketing and sales, okay, have different responsibilities, and they require all these 4 types of jobs what I mentioned require different set of skills. So it will not be fair if you pay all the same salary to all the employees. So today we are going to make a beginning to learn how a company makes internal alignment, okay, which is one among the policy choices in a pay model. Okay, and there are 4 policy choices for a company. So among them, internal alignment, external competitiveness, employee contribution, and management. So we are going to begin with the first policy choice, that is internal alignment. So how the employees are internally aligned, okay, the way it supports to support the compensation strategy to help achieve the compensation objectives. Okay, before that, okay, just let me share you a news article from Times of India. Okay, students, can you see the news article? Yeah, anyone? Can you see the news article?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Also,
Yeah. Now, this news is from Times of India, September 12, 2020, in page number 10 in a Times business column. Okay, so in the chapter 1, I mentioned about various forms of pay. Okay, so one among the forms of pay was ESOP, employee stock option. Okay, if you can recall, it means the organization, okay, provides equity shares of its company to the employees. There are 2 benefits. One way is as and when the company makes profit, a part of that will be shared as or distributed as a dividend with the equity shareholders. Okay, and second thing, as the company grows, okay, the market prices of these equity shares or stocks go on increasing, and these employees can sell and make a lot of money. So this is all part of the compensation strategy to motivate the employees to make them part of the ownership. So this news is related to employee stock options. Zomato, okay, so I hope you know, it's an online restaurant discovery platform. It's called as Zomato is an online restaurant discovery platform. Okay, Zomato plans its IPO. So dear students, you are also learning a subject called investment analysis and portfolio management. So I hope you are clear about what is an IPO, initial public offering. So when a company raises funds for the first time from the public, okay, we call it as an IPO, initial public offering, and then it will be listed into the national stock exchanges like BSE and NSE. And once a company raises, okay, funds from the market, from public, okay, the same securities or equity shares can be traded. Okay, so Zomato plans its initial public offering in 2021. Ex-employees get $30 million cash out. Okay, so I'll read the news a little bit. Online restaurant discovery platform Zomato has started preparations to go for an initial public offering in 2021, making it the first among India's most valued consumer internet companies, or unicorns they are referred to as, valued at over $1 billion each, to plan a market debut. The 12-year-old company, co-founded by IIT Delhi engineer and a former Bain consultant Deepinder Goyal, okay, the founder and CEO, is planning its listing in India, said sources familiar with the matter. Okay, now okay, so in the run-up to its public offering, the Gurgaon-based company is also in the process of closing a $30 million share sale. I repeat, a $30 million share sale for its former employees. That is what the heading is. Ex-employees get $30 million cash out. Okay, so it is in the process of closing a $30 million share sale for its former employees, which will be one of the most significant ESOP, means employee stock options, liquidity events in India. Zomato is in the process of raising its pre-IPO round of $600 million, as part of which it raised $100 million from Tiger Global. Tiger Global is an investment company. Okay, so it has invested 100 million. Zomato has already raised $100 million from Tiger Global. The reason is the company is planning to go public, means they are going to issue equity shares for the public in the open market, and they are planning to raise by way of IPO $600 million, okay, funds or capital. So when I say, okay, former employees, which will be one of, okay, in the process of closing a $30 million share sale for its former employees, it means, okay, the company has not gone public. That does not mean the company does not have equity shares. Okay, the company do have equity shares, and earlier the company had already offered employee stock options to its employees. Okay, and some of them who are not with the company now, but still they hold, okay, these stocks of Zomato. So Zomato is enabling or helping these ex-employees to sell their shares. Okay, so basically they will be purchased by investment companies like Silver Lake or Tiger Global. Okay, Tiger Global. These type of companies purchase the stocks from the ex-employees, and the worth of that will be about $30 million. These ex-employees will get. Okay, so dear students, that is what, okay, and the company is also planning to give, okay, ESOP options or employee stock options to its present employees as well. So I would like to focus only on this much. Just a minute. Okay, so that's all I wanted to let you know, that Zomato plans its IPO in 2021. It's an online restaurant discovery platform. and ex-employees get $30 million cash out. Means Zomato is helping its ex-employees to whom it has offered stocks. Okay, so those employees can sell their shares now, which will be purchased by investment companies, and the worth of that will be $30 million. Okay, so this we considered employee stock options in chapter number 1. So which is one of the forms of compensation. Okay, the objective of this is to make the employees part of the organization. Okay, and give them the feeling of that ownership responsibility, assuming that these employees will work more harder to achieve the organizational goals. Okay, so with this now I will close this news. If you have any queries related to this, you can ask at the end of the session. There will be 10 to 15 minutes time available. We can discuss okay, little bit more, or I can address your queries related to this news article. Okay, so now I am going to share PowerPoint slides of chapter number 3 from unit 2. Okay, students, can you see the PowerPoint slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so from unit 1, okay, where we'll had introduction to the subject compensation and benefits management, and we also learned a compensation model in chapter 1. Okay, and in chapter 2 we learned about the compensation strategy. Okay, so that was in brief. Now we are going to consider each of the building blocks, okay, from the 4 policy choices. So I will recall again, okay, a pay model has 3 building blocks: objectives, policies, and techniques. Okay, so from unit 2, what we are going to learn is how a company develops a compensation strategy by way of making decisions. Okay, by way of making decisions with respect to the building blocks. So in unit 2, we are going to learn about the first of the 4 policy choices in the pay model. So policies, okay, the first, okay, policy choice is internal alignment, if you can recall. Second policy choice, okay, in the pay model is external competitiveness. Third policy choice is employee contributions, and fourth policy choice is management. The decisions that are taken with respect to each of these 4 policy choices as well as the objectives becomes a compensation strategy of the organization. This is exactly what we have learned in chapter 2, strategy, the totality of decisions. So that was in brief. Now in this chapter onwards, we are going to learn about the all 5 areas, okay, which are referred, keep referring continuously. Okay, what decisions a company makes with respect to each of the 4 policy choices. So first one is internal alignment. Definitely you will have more clarity on what exactly is internal alignment and what type of decisions a company makes with respect to its internal alignment. Okay, so unit 2 deals with internal alignment, determining the structure. Structure, when I say, please remember organization structure. I repeat, determining the structure. Structure, when I say, I am talking about organization structure. Okay, so which has a different hierarchies like top level management, middle level management, lower level management, if you can recall a simple organization structure. Okay, so as an employee move up the ladder of the organization structure or the hierarchy, he resumes greater responsibilities and his or her compensation also increases. Okay, so that's how organization structure comes into picture in internal alignment. Okay, so I hope okay, the background is clear. Now in unit 2, okay, so we are going to learn chapter number 3, which deals with defining internal alignment. So I hope I have given sufficient background to you to make you understand or put you into the context. Okay, please do not go out of the context. Every class I make a review of what has been learned in the class. Just now I did that. Okay, so what are we going to learn in this chapter? Okay, chapter name you can remember once again, defining internal alignment. So the topics covered in this chapter are compensation strategy with respect to what decisions are taken with respect to internal alignment. Definitely we learn in more in detail what is internal alignment. Structures vary among organizations. Yes, definitely the organization structures or hierarchies are different for different companies. What shapes internal structures, or what are the factors that have an influence on the internal structure of an organization? Then finally, we'll go ahead to the strategic choices in designing internal structures. Okay. So I hope it gives us clarity on what exactly we are going to learn in this session. So we'll make a beginning with compensation strategy and the decision taken with respect to internal alignment. But before that, we'll learn what is internal alignment. Okay. So issues in a strategic approach. Okay. Issues in a strategic approach means when a company is developing a compensation strategy, okay, it should pay attention to setting objectives. So I hope you can recall the first building block in the pay model, objective. So what are the probable objectives or generic objectives? Okay, you can recall improving efficiency. Okay, you can recall by way of increasing productivity, increasing profitability, increasing customer satisfaction. I hope you can recall. Then second objective can be fairness. Okay, the internal alignment done by the company means when different employees receive different amounts of compensation, it should be in proportion with their responsibilities and education, skills, experience, and so on. So it should be fair. Then third objective is compliance. The compensation structure or compensation system should comply with the laws and regulations with respect to wages in a particular country. Okay, so pay attention to setting objectives in this way. Then second part is internal alignment. Okay, internal alignment addresses the relationships inside the organization. Okay, internal alignment addresses the relationships inside the organization. Okay, so try to understand here. Okay, there can be many examples. Okay, the simple example what I have been giving, Hindustan Unilever Limited, if you consider the company which is a 100% wholly owned subsidiary of Unilever Limited UK. So in Hindustan Unilever Limited has manufacturing plants. There are employees working in the factory. Okay, again in the factory there are okay, if you can recall, blue collar labor or white collar employees. White collar basically are employees whose payment is not based on hourly basis. Blue collar employees are those, okay, whose payment is based on number of hours and at a particular rate of compensation per hour, which is again different for overtime, which is referred as OT. Okay, then other than the factory employees, company will have employees in the human resource department, company will have employees in the financial management department, it will have employees in the marketing and sales. So I hope you understand that the skills required in manufacturing, skills required in marketing, skills required in financial management, skills required in human resource management is quite different. So it is not fair to pay equal salary to all the employees. Okay, so depending on the job profile or nature of job, the job responsibilities and the skills of the employee, okay, and experience of the employee, qualification of the employee, the company gives different salaries. To enable this, a company creates an organization structure, if you can recall, from lowest level to top level. And this also enables the employees, okay, to work harder towards achieving the organization goals and climb up the hierarchy, the ladder of the hierarchy means get promoted. So as and when they get promoted, their salary or compensation increases. So the compensation of the top level management definitely will be higher than the employees in the middle level management, and the employees in the middle level management receive a higher compensation than the employees in the lower level management. So this is what exactly we are talking about, internal alignment. Okay, then the relationships form a pay structure. Okay, so these relationships, because when a product is manufactured in one of the Hindustan Unilever Limited factories or plants, okay, and marketing people create demand in the market for the product, they create awareness, they ensure the availability of the products, okay, in the nearby stores of the customers, so they play a different role. Okay, then they also maintain the distribution channel and see to it that the inventory is always available with the wholesalers and retailers. Then human resource department, okay, recruits and employs eligible employees or candidates for respective departments. Okay, then financial management department, okay, is including with preparation of the budget for each year, control of the budget. Okay, then other than that, if the company is planning to raise additional capital, so these all responsibilities are shared by different employees, hence pay will be different. So the relationships form a pay structure, and this relationship should support, okay, the pay structure which is formed out of such a relationship within the organization should support the organization strategy. So the compensation paid to different employees based on their skills, responsibilities, experience and qualification should be done in such a way where the employee should feel motivated and work towards achieving the organizational goals. Hence we say the pay structure should support organization strategy, and as well it support the workflow model. Workflow model is nothing but, I hope most of you, okay, might have completed this part in your internship organization study report. Okay, so one of the component on which you need to gather information is workflow. So from the manufacturing stage till the delivery to the customer. So what is the flow? Okay. So this pay structure or the organization structure, okay, should support the workflow model. That is manufacturing, from manufacturing the product till delivering products to the customer, as well as providing excellent customer service. So all employees in each of the hierarchy or in each level should have enough motivation to work towards bringing the product from point of production to the point of consumption. Then such a pay structure should motivate behavior towards organization objectives. As I said, so when an organization creates a structure or hierarchies, okay, so for lower level employee will definitely strive to work hard and perform better so that he can get promoted to the next level. So that is how a pay structure should motivate behavior toward organization objectives. Okay, so that is about an introduction. So dear students, if you have any questions, you can note down, and during the interaction session you can clarify your doubts.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Then, so now what is internal alignment? So I gave sufficient background to what exactly is internal alignment. Okay, so now it's a formal definition of what is internal alignment. Okay, so internal alignment, often called internal equity. So I repeat, internal alignment, often called internal equity, refers to the pay relationships among different jobs or skills or competencies within a single organization. So I already mentioned manufacturing workers, employees in the marketing department, employees in the finance department, employees in the human resource department, employees in the IT department have different types of jobs or different job responsibilities. They need different skill sets and they need different type of competencies, but they all work within a single organization and work towards the common organizational goal. Okay, so that is what exactly is meant by internal alignment. So I repeat, Internal alignment, often called internal equity, refers to the pay relationships among the different jobs or skills or competencies within a single organization. So even one more simple example I can give. See, consider a college or a university. Okay. See, consider a college or a university. The structure, internal alignment is more or less same. So you can understand. Say when a teacher, okay, inexperienced teacher joins university or educational institute, PG level I'm talking, UG and PG level. So he will be taken in for the position of assistant professor. Earlier it was different. Teachers used to make a beginning in the higher education with the designation called a lecturer, senior lecturer, assistant professor, associate professor, and professor. So 5 levels were there. Now the entry level itself is made as assistant professor. Okay, now there is no lecturer or senior lecturer designations in university. Okay, so you can understand assistant professor will be a new recruit who may not have any experience, a fresher. Okay, and associate professor will have certain number of experience, okay, with a doctorate, PhD degree, and a professor will be a professor will have minimum 10 years of experience, of which minimum 5 years he would have been worked as an associate professor. So you understood now, the experience of professor will be highest, the experience of associate professor will be more than assistant professor, and assistant professor may have experience or inexperience. And the education qualification, it is not, PhD is not compulsory at the entry level to join a university as assistant professor, but to get promoted as associate professor, PhD is mandatory, and to get promoted as professor, PhD as well as 5 years experience, as total 10 years experience, out of which minimum 5 years should be worked as associate professor. Only then he gets promoted as professor. Other than this, there will be different requirements like the experience in research. Okay, so this is how the levels are different, and university has aligned its employees internally in this way. Okay, and the salary for assistant professor, associate professor, and professor will be different, which is based on, okay, qualification, number of years of experience. Okay, so that is internal alignment. Then, okay, so we'll consider this one example, engineering structure at Lockheed Martin. Okay, I will introduce you. I'll give information about this company. Okay, but before that, let us understand what is engineering structure. Okay, so engineering structure means the way I mentioned, like factory employees, if you can recall, employees in the marketing department, employees in the, okay, HR department, employees in the finance department. Okay, that way. Okay, so when we consider about innovation, research and development, developing a new product, okay, so that division is called as engineering division. Okay, of course engineers work in that department. Okay, so this internal alignment or structure is only of engineering department in this company called as Lockheed Martin. I repeat, this engineering, this structure what is visible on the screen now is not the entire not the organization structure of the entire organization. This structure is only of one of the departments in the entire organization, which is of course one of the most important departments, referred to as engineering department. So you can see here that at the entry level, okay, the designation is engineer. He can get promoted as senior engineer, systems engineer, lead engineer, advisor engineer, and consultant engineer. This is the highest, okay, level which an employee achieve in engineering department. Okay, so I hope you can understand. So like how I said, like assistant professor, associate professor, professor, that way in engineering department of Lockheed Martin company, these are the different hierarchies or levels, or you can also consider it as a structure. Of course, the salary of engineer will be lowest. the salary of consultant engineer will be highest. Okay. So before we learn about this, I'll quickly take you through the website of this company, Lockheed Martin. It's an American aerospace company. Okay. Okay. Students, can you see this home page of Lockheed Martin?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, so just let me share you about this company. Okay, the examples provided in this book, okay, are of not only just large organizations, but these companies are quite unique and amazing in nature. Okay, I'll just tell one example what kind of products this company develops. Lockheed Martin is now developing, okay, equipment. I'll just name it, okay, later, for NASA. Okay, NASA, NASA. Okay, National Space, okay, and Aeronautic Agency. Okay, so NASA, for NASA, this company is developing a product which can carry humans to Mars planet. I repeat. Okay, so it's into basically manufacturing or developing shuttles, rockets, etc. for space. One of their customer is NASA. Okay, so this company is now developing a rocket and shuttle which will take human astronauts to Mars planet and it will bring them back to Earth. So I hope you can imagine. Okay, so it says, who are we? Okay. Okay, see about Lockheed Martin, headquartered in Bethesda, Maryland, United States of America. Lockheed Martin is a global security and aerospace company that employs approximately 110,000 people worldwide and is principally engaged in the research, design, development, manufacture, integration, and sustainment of advanced technology systems, products, and services. Okay. So if we can check their business areas. Okay, so this is what you can see. Aeronautics, fighter jets, missiles and fire control, rotary and mission systems, space. Okay, so to name a few. Okay. Okay, students, can you see this image now? PowerPoint slide. Hello.
No, sir.
Cannot see PowerPoint slide?
Yes, sir.
You
No,
can see, right?
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay. So this is what it says, engineer. Okay, designation at the entry level, limited use of basic principles and concepts, develops solutions to limited problems and closely supervised because he's a newcomer into the organization. So at each level, the skills required goes on increasing, the sophistication or importance goes on increasing, so as their salary also or compensation also goes on increasing. Okay, so we'll learn this, okay, in the next session. So I'm going to begin a new meeting. So I will send the link in WhatsApp. Okay, kindly join it immediately. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to end meeting now. Please join the new meeting. Check out
Okay,
your
sir.
WhatsApp.